Good morning mga mag-aaral! Nandito po tayo sa ating part 2 tungkol sa ating discussion sa active voice at passive voice. Kung natatandaan ninyo, ang kasanayan na ating dapat malaman tungkol sa active voice at passive voice ay ang pag-identify ng structure nito, kung ito ba ay active or passive. So this time, magle-level up po tayo sa ating kasanayan tungkol sa active voice at passive voice. At ito po ay gagawin natin ang active voice sentence to passive voice. Pero maraming considerations dahil mayroong tenses na dapat nating i-consider. So magpo-focus muna tayo sa ating writing skills kung paano isusulat ang active voice sentence to passive voice only for the simple tense. But before that, let us review first if you have learned if the sentence, active voice sentence can be rewritten to passive voice. Okay, let's do this review. Okay, let us identify if these active voice sentences can be rewritten to passive voice. Okay, let us read. He builds a new house. Is this active voice sentence can be rewritten to passive voice? Pwede ba itong masulat sa passive voice sentence? Yes or no? Okay, the answer is yes. Okay, let us try to find out why this can be rewritten to passive voice. Let us read. He builds a new house. Our subject is he. And our verb is builds, which is a transitive verb. Then, a new house is our direct object. So again, this active voice sentence with a structure of subject and transitive verb and direct object can be rewritten to passive voice. Okay, what about for the next sentence? She sings an inspirational song. Is this active voice sentence can be rewritten to passive voice? The answer is yes. Okay, let us identify the sentence pattern. Okay, the subject is she. The verb is sings, which is a transitive verb. And an inspirational song is our direct object. Again, this active voice sentence can be rewritten to passive voice. What about for the remaining sentences? Okay, let's have this one. Okay, read. He walks hurriedly. So our subject is he. And our verb is walks, which is intransitive verb. And this one, hurriedly, is our phrase, which is an adverb or in the adverbial phrase. Is this active voice sentence can be rewritten to passive voice? So the answer is no. Okay, what about for the last sentence? Is this active voice sentence can be rewritten to passive? Let us try to find out. Read. The children play at the park. What is our subject? The children. And our verb is play, and this is an intransitive verb. And at the park is our phrase, which is a prepositional phrase. So, if this can be rewritten to passive voice, the answer is no. So, let us analyze our sentences. Only sentence number 1 and number 2 can be rewritten to passive voice. Why? Because there is what we call direct object. So again, only active voice sentences which have direct object can be rewritten to passive voice. Okay, now let us have the writing skills for writing active voice sentence to passive voice, focusing first on the simple tense. So you are going to find out the changes or the considerations that we are going to remember as we rewrite active voice sentence to passive voice sentence in the simple tense, starting from the present, past, and future. Okay? Okay, are you now ready to learn how to write active voice sentences to passive voice sentences? This time we are going to focus on the tense, simple tense. Okay, so we are going to write active voice sentence to passive voice sentence, focusing on the simple tense. So you will be learning present active voice writing to present passive voice, past active voice to past passive voice, and future active voice to future passive voice. Okay, let's start with writing active voice sentence to passive voice sentence in the simple tense present. Okay, now again, this is the sentence structure. If the active voice sentence in the present tense. So we have subject, we use letter S, and then we have the transitive verb, of course, in the present tense, and then followed by direct object. That is on the simple present active. Okay, so let us have the following examples. Okay, you focus. The boy teases the girl. Let us check our sentence pattern for the present active if there is the subject, transitive verb, or the direct object. Okay, let us identify. Our subject is the boy. Check. And then our verb, which is transitive, teases. Check. In the present tense. So we have singular subject, the boy, and then the verb teases, singular. Okay, the boy teases what? Okay, the girl. Okay, so this is our direct object. Okay, let us label down. So this is our subject, this is our verb, and this is our direct object. Okay, very good. What about for the number 2? So we have he gives donation. So our subject is he, our verbs is gives, and our direct object is donations. Okay. So we have now the sentence pattern for the present active voice in the simple tense. Okay, so we have, let us read again. The boy teases the girl. The subject is the boy, the verb is teases, and the direct object is the girl. For the next sentence, we have the subject he, and then we have the verb gives, and the direct object is donations. Okay, let us rewrite this one to the present passive. Let's have this sentence. The boy teases the girl. So you are provided with this pattern. All you have to do is to substitute. Okay, so here, let us compare. From our subject, where is our subject located? This time at the last part. And our transitive verb, we are going to observe the changes of our present form of the verb in the active. What happened to the passive? Okay, so we are going to take the past participle of the verb. So the past participle, our knowledge on the past participle of the verb, either regular or irregular, is very important. The question is, kabalo mo sa past participle of the verb? Because that is one consideration that you are going to analyze. If you know the past participle form of the verb, either regular or irregular, so there is no difficulty on writing active voice sentence to passive voice. So again, you have to master the past participle of the verb because all throughout gamiton yun na siya. All throughout gamiton na to ang past participle of the verb. Okay, let's start. Okay, so again, number 1, use the pattern provided. Use the pattern na si direct object, then followed by the verb, and then followed by the subject. But of course, you are going to have the past participle of the verb from the present to the past participle, from the past to the past participle, from the future to the past participle. Again, be careful with your past participle. Okay, this one, the past participle of the verb is very important. Dapat kabalutan, past participle of the verb. Sige, let's try. Okay, let us rewrite this present active voice sentence to present passive voice. So, the boy kisses the girl. So, mag-una na po si direct object nga, the girl. So, you will have the girl. Okay. Next, followed by the be verb. Kabalo ta sa ito ang be verb. Of course, our be verb this time is either the is or the are. Okay, now our direct object here is singular. So the girl, so the be verb form, so nani siya no, either is or are. Okay, present. So we have the girl, singular, it should be is. Okay, what about the past participle of thesis? So it should be, okay, the past participle of thesis is teased. Okay, next, followed by, and your subject, the boy. Easy or difficult? If it is difficult, okay, let us lessen our difficulty by having this next example. Again, so just use the pattern provided for you. Very easy. All you have to do is to substitute. Dapat kabalo ka sa past participle sa atuang verb. Okay, let's try. Next sentence. He gives donations. So, mag-una na po si direct object because of this pattern. So, we have donations. Okay, followed by the be verb. So, this time our direct object, donations, is plural. Is or are. Okay, this time we have are. Donations are. What about the past participle of gives? So we have donations are past participle. We have given. And then, substitute by. And then, what is our subject? He. Okay, this time. Aside from the past participle, if our subject in the active voice is a pronoun, from subjective case, since dili maunsa siya, may muang objective case. So, kabalo ta sa objective case, anya to ang subjective case ng pronoun in. Kung dili kabalo, balik na po taana. So, dapat kabalo. Aside from the past participle, dapat kabalo ta sa ato ang cases of pronoun. From subjective case, mahimo siyang objective case. So, what is the objective case of our subject he na mausap diri sa ato ang passive voice? So, we have donations are given by. Very good. It should be him. Let us jot down. Following considerations. So, if our subject is pronoun from the active voice. So may pronoun, may mo siyang mausap niya ang cases. So from subjective case, may mo siyang objective case. Usbon dyan nato ang case nato, ha? Okay, let us go back on the sentence number 1. The boy is a noun subject. Wala siya mausap, baby. No? Okay, let us label down para klaro. Direct object. This is our be verb. And then the past participle. Noun na naka-past. Participle of the verb. Then the by. And then this one, our subject. So if our subject here from the active voice is a noun, dili siya mausap diri. But if our subject here is a pronoun he, mausap gud siya diri. May mo siyang him. Klaro. Sige. So this one ha, these are the following considerations. You are provided with the pattern. This one, these are the patterns. Okay? And then be careful with the past participle of the verb na imong usbon. So, dapat kabaluta sa past participle of the verb. You research on the internet or different websites about the past and past participle of regular and irregular verb kung hindi pa kakantibo na ulan. Sige. And then, of course, if our subject from the active voice is a pronoun, change the subjective case to objective case. O, atong i-label down. So we have our direct object. This is our be verb. This is our past participle of the verb. And then the preposition by, which is the distinguishing point of the passive voice. And then our subject from he becomes him in the objective case. Clear? Sige. Now, let us simplify our understanding here in this tense, no? From present active voice to present passive voice. So, if you have noticed, we have two patterns here to simplify. So, we have direct object. If it is singular, or that one stands for singular. So, we have, if the direct object is singular, so it should be is. That is present passive. If our direct object is singular. And then, again, master your past participle of the verb. That one, past participle of the verb. And then the by. And then we have the subject. If our direct object is plural, if our direct object is plural, of course the be verb present should be are. And then past participle of the verb, then by, and then our subject. Okay, now let us put a hint here. If the subject is noun, still noun. If the subject is pronoun, change the case. Clear? Sige, let us go back. Okay, in changing present active voice in the simple tense, okay, to present passive voice in the simple tense, these are the following patterns. If your direct object is singular, we have is, then the past participle of the verb, and then by, and then the subject. Next, we have, if your direct object is plural, use the be verb are, and then the past participle of the verb, and then by, and then we have your subject. But, be careful with your subject from the active voice, mausab din siya. Okay, walay mausab if the subject from the active voice is a noun, it should also noun. But, if your subject from the active voice is pronoun, change the case from subjective case to objective case. Clear? Okay. Now let's proceed to the past active voice writing that to past passive voice. Usa kay mausab. Naay usa ka buok nga mausab. Of course, the tense. From present tense, nahimo siya og past tense on the be verb. Okay, let us try to find out. The same sentence. Mausab ra ang ako ang tense. Sige. Look at this sentence. The boy teased the girl. Parehas lang sentence dito, no? But only the tense ang nausab. Since we are talking about past active voice, the verb must be on the past tense. Okay, let us label down. The boy is our subject. Our verb is tease, which is a transitive verb in the past tense. And then we have the direct object. Okay. What about here? He gave donations. Pariha dili. Pariha. Only the tense ang nausap. So this is our subject. This is our verb. And this is our transitive verb. And this is our direct object. Okay. Now look at the verb. Only the tense ang nausap in the past tense. So these are past active voice sentences. Okay, let us rewrite that one to past passive voice. Okay, isa kay mausap. Of course, ang tense rin mausap. Look at here. So, mag-una gyapon si direct object. So, kisa ang si direct object? The girl. So, we have the girl. Okay. Next, we have sa ganito, be verb. Okay. The be verb in the present is or are. So, kinahanglan, himuon mo siyang past tense. Okay. So, the girl kay singular, what is the past tense of is? So, was. Na. Kanaara ang mausap. And then, what about past participle of is? Kani? O, is we have to. This is a regular verb. Okay. So, the girl was is. O, kanarawa mausap by. The subject is boy. By the boy. So, we have direct object. The be verb in the past tense. And then the past participle of your verb. And then by, and then the subject. Okay. Clear? Okay. Masa rin mausap ang past tense sa be verb. Okay, let us try this one. We gave donations. So our direct object na kung mag-una, so we have donations. What is the past form of are? Where? Ano rin mausap? Then what is the past participle of gave? Given. What about the next one? Preposition by, and then your subject o mausap. From subjective case nga in, himo siyang objective case nga in. Very easy. No? So kung master nimo ang present tense, master po di mo ang past tense. Kaya unsa rin nausap ang past tense sa be verb. So let us have the pattern. If the direct object in the past tense is singular, use was for the be verb. And then followed by the past participle of the verb, past participle of the verb, and then by, followed by subject. Okay. What about if our direct object is plural in the past passive voice? So your are, mahimong, where. And then past participle of the verb, and then by, and the subject. Okay, is that clear? Okay, clear. Very good. Now let's proceed to the future active voice, writing that to future passive voice, simple tense. Okay. So So you have noticed we have the same sentence, but only the tense ang nausap. Oh, let us try to find out. Okay, read. The boy will tease the girl. So this is our subject. And this is our verb, will tease in the future. Now, this is our verb. And then we have our direct object, the girl. Okay. What about for number 2? Sorry. Okay, let us see one. He. Okay. He will give donation. This is our subject. And this is our verb. And this is our direct object. Since this is future active voice, so we have the verb will is, will give. So, kana ray mausab dito sa future passive voice. Kasi mausab. Ilan taon na to? So, maguna na po si direct object na the verb. Since this is future passive, so there will be the girl will be. Okay, take note ha. So, will be siya dapat. And then the past participle of the verb is, okay, teased. Okay, no? Direct object, this one. Be verb, will be. Then past participle is. And then we have by. And then we have this one, the subject. Sa ito muna, we have, okay, so teased by the okay, so let it down. Let us check direct object. This is our be verb in the future. This is our past participle of the verb, and then the by preposition and the subject. Okay, the same. So only this one ang nausap, will be. Okay, let us apply here. So we have he will give donations. Direct object, donations. Okay, will be given by, from subjective case, minimum objective case, by him. So let us label down. Donations, our direct object. Will be is our future passive. No? Okay, this is our be verb in the future passive. And then given is our past participle of the verb, the preposition by, and this is our subject. Very easy, no? So you are provided with a simplified pattern. Okay, let us review. Again, in writing active voice sentence to present simple tense, so this is the expected sentence pattern. All you have to do is use these following patterns. Okay, we have if your direct object is singular in the present tense, use is, then the past participle of the verb, always remember that one, then the by and the subject. If your direct object is plural, in the present passive, it should be are, your giver. And then past participle of the verb, then by, then the subject. Always remember the changes of the case. If your subject is a pronoun from the active voice, so from subjective case, meaning mo siyang objective case. Okay, the same concept, but you have to be careful with the changes on the be verb. Okay, so we have here, let's say from past active voice, if your direct object is singular, it should be was your giver, then past participle of the verb, and then by, then subject. If your direct object in the past active voice is plural, so therefore the be verb to be used in the past passive should be where. Then past participle of the verb, and then by, then followed by subject. Short our lesson about writing active voice sentence to passive voice in the simple tense. So, if your sentence in the present active voice, you have to use the following sentence patterns writing that to present passive voice. Again, careful with your direct object from the present active voice. If it is singular, use this pattern. If your direct object from the present active voice is plural, use this pattern. Okay, what about writing that? Past active voice to past passive voice. Again, focus on your direct object. If it is singular, okay, use this pattern. Clear? If your direct object in the past active voice is plural, use this pattern. And for writing future active voice sentence to future passive voice, okay, we are going to use this one pattern. Okay, is that clear? So if you found out that the lesson is very easy or difficult, so you can write down the patterns. This one, you can write down in your notebook the patterns. And this one also, in the past passive voice, write down the patterns on your notebook as your reference. And finally, for the future, you can write down. Because in the next video tutorial, we will proceed another tense. And that is the continuous tense. So I make a separate video for each tense because it's very long. Actually, in the regular class, active voice and passive voice topics is good for 3 weeks. If your learners are slow, if your group of learners are fast, the topic on active and passive voice can only be taught within 2 weeks. Starting from identifying active to passive and writing active to passive vice versa to the different tenses. Okay, I hope you have learned something. The most important skill in writing active-passive voice in the simple tense. So, pwede na mo makasulat, no? At akong grade 7 na learners nga hindi kayo musulat ng sentence. Okay, this is your tutorial, no? So, watch my video. You can subscribe to my channel. If you want to learn something about English lesson, particularly on my English class, English 7, I intended to have this tutorial para in town, sa inyo in town ninyo, pwede man taka face to face. So again, I made this video intended for you para sa inyo jud kayo ninyo ang lesson. Pwede man ko ninyo ka face to face. So I made this one. Okay? God bless and thank you for watching.